Senator Sam Lotu-Iiga.
Well, thank you, Mr Chair. And Mr Chair, it's a privilege and an honour to speak in the financial review for the Ministry of Social Development. And before I talk about the substantive achievements that this government has done in this portfolio area, I just want to say to the member that just spoke, if that member thinks that turning up to Pacifica Festival on a Saturday afternoon gives her an insight into Pacifica children and the vulnerabilities that they have and their families have, then she's mistaken, sir. She's mistaken if you think that turning up to Greyland Festival gives you some sort of insight into how Pacifica people are living in this country, sir. And, sir, it was a disgrace to hear that member talk about how they are aspirational, and yet they deny the fact that NCA level 1 and 2 and 3 for Pacifica people has improved over the last 12 years. They deny the fact that pass rates for Pacifica people inside our tertiary educations are going up. They deny the fact that the number of people employed in this country of Pacifica descent has gone up under this government. So they might want to deny those facts, but certainly I will not. And it's not about rich and poor, but I'll tell you what it is, sir, Mr Chairman, it is about the Ministry of Social Development. I want to thank the Minister, the Honourable Paula Bennett, for the work, the bold leadership and the hard work that she's put in to bring about the reforms in this country, sir. And we all know about the investment approach. We know about budgeting services and the investment that we're putting up front into vulnerable families, parenting services, wraparound services, budgeting services. Those are the things that matter to people who are in need, sir. We know about our other welfare reforms in terms of social obligations, the recategorisation of unemployment benefit, as well as work testing and testing for those who are on drugs and want to work. Sir, but what I want to talk about, sir, the 9,300 staff of the Ministry of Social Development that are out there, many of whom are on the front line dealing with vulnerable families and children, $1.6 million, 1.6 million people, sir, that they're servicing every day. And it's massive. In terms of its scope, this department, this ministry, deals with the care and protection of vulnerable children. They deal with income support, superannuation services, funding to community service providers. Because this government believes that pushing our services out into the community, we believe, just as the Māori Party do, through whānau ora, and Louisa Wall knows this, because she's a supporter of these types of services, community services that actually interact with our whānau and our families out in the community. Those are the sorts of services that our communities are demanding, sir. And, sir, this budget is 1/3 of the total government spending across the whole government portfolio. It's $21 billion a year. So, sir, this is not to be underestimated in terms of its importance. One of the things, sir, that I think has worked, certainly Future Focus, which was introduced in 2010 as a precursor to those reforms that I've just spoken about. And what it did was it allowed unemployment beneficiaries to reapply if they remained on the benefit for over 12 months. Sir, it also provided for domestic purposes benefit recipients with children over 6 to look for part-time work. And that's a particularly important reform, sir, because what we're seeing when solo parents see their kids go out into school, that they're able to get part-time work, they're able to get part-time jobs, and it's good for them, it's good for their kids, and it's good for our communities and good for our economy. And, sir, what's happened under these reforms is we've saved taxpayers $74 million since these reforms were put in place. That's $74 million. That is nothing to be sniffled at. That will be applied to services that are in need in our communities. And, sir, what it's meant is that 21,400 people have left unemployment benefit as a result of this policy, and half of those didn't actually complete the reapplication form, which was part of our reforms. Sir, I support the reforms that we've done over the last 4 years in government. They've made a huge difference to the people in our communities. They've serviced a lot of families that have been in need during this global financial crisis. And, sir, it has meant that they are able to go out and get jobs and contribute to their families and our communities.
Call Melissa Lee.
Mr Chair,